la última pelea aquí en Las Vegas.
Sí, hemos mejorado el camp, ¿no? Lo hemos profesionalizado bastante, hemos entrenado un poco, ahora que un poco mejor, ¿no? Para no sufrir tantas lesiones y yo creo que va todo bastante mejor.
This camp was more professional. We try to improve in a lot of stuff, especially on getting a lot, being more healthy, less injuries, and yeah, basically we had a more professional camp this time.
Nice. I guess when you talk about more professional, is a lot of that geared towards the weight and making sure that you don't miss weight again?
Obviamente, sí, esto se inclinó también al tema del peso y no fallar en la báscula otra vez.
Sí, también hemos mejorado la nutrición, la alimentación, ¿no? Esta vez vamos mucho mejor en cuanto a peso se refiere. Nos quedan menos libras por recortar y la verdad que me encuentro bien. Yo creo que va a ser un buen corte de peso y que vamos a cumplir con la báscula.
Yeah, we obviously focus on nutrition. We have a lot. We are a lot closer to the weighing this time, and we feel that the weight cut is going to be a lot easier.
Was there any talk at all of moving up in weight, or do you think you can stay at lightweight for the rest of your career, or maybe will you have to go to welterweight at some point?
¿Piensas que en algún momento tendrás que ir al peso welter o que te puedes quedar mucho tiempo acá en el peso ligero todavía?
Yo creo que haciendo las cosas como las hice esta vez puedo mantenerme en el ligero, puedo mantenerme bien en el ligero. No creo que sea un tío todavía que esté para el welter, ¿no? Por el recorte que hago, entonces yo de momento voy a mantenerme en el ligero.
I believe if we keep doing the right things and moving this way, I can stay in the lightweight for long. I don't feel like welterweight is a move for me at this moment in my career.
Nice. All right, let's talk about this fight with Armen. I'm curious, when you got this matchup, if you were excited about it or maybe a little surprised, because it looks like two of you guys have a real future in the division. Maybe it could have happened later in your careers.
¿Piensas que esta pelea llegó pronto porque los dos son dos peleadores con mucho futuro? ¿Piensas que este matchup lo hicieron muy pronto o que puede haber sido tal vez más adelante en sus carreras?
Creo que esta pelea llegó en el momento perfecto, ¿no? 4 victorias y 1 derrota. Estamos igual en el récord de UFC los dos. Jóvenes los dos con hambre, entonces yo creo que es la hora de hacer esta pelea.
I believe it happened at the right moment. We have the same record in the UFC, so this is the time for us to match up.
In this matchup, I mean, obviously victory is important, but do you feel like it's important to go, showcase your grappling, show that you're the superior grappler, or is it important to note that, hey, this is a mixed martial arts fight, it may be an entirely striking fight?
¿Piensas que es una pelea que va a ser inclinada hacia el striking o una pelea de artes marciales mixtas? ¿Qué tipo de pelea esperas?
Yo creo que habrá de todo en esta pelea, ¿no? Si es por su parte, seguro que será más wrestling y grappling. Y si es por mi parte será más striking, pero bueno, yo creo que va a ser una pelea de MMA.
Yes, it's going to be an MMA fight. I think we're going to see everything on his side. If he will try to grapple and wrestle, but on my side, I'm going to try to strike. So I think we're going to see everything on this fight.
Nice. Have you thought about where you go with a win? Because I do feel like this would be a huge win for your career, but I don't know if everybody knows how good Armen is. So where do you think you'll go with a win here?
¿Hasta dónde crees que puedes avanzar si te llevas una victoria? Parece que todos saben que bueno es Arman, entonces ¿qué piensas que puede hacer una victoria con él para ti?
Yo creo que una victoria sobre Arman me situaría en el top 10 o apuntando a ellos.
I believe if I beat Arman, I have to fight someone in the top 10 next or the closest I can get to the top 10.
Nice. I guess last thing for me, I mean, what is the goal to accomplish this year? Because this would be a big win. You'd be near the rankings. I mean, are we talking about getting into title contention this year, or is it just, I mean, how many wins do you want? What is the goal for this year?
¿Cuál es tu meta para este año? ¿A cuántas peleas te sientes de pelear por el título? ¿Cuál es tu plan para este año?
Bueno, yo siempre digo que voy pelea a pelea, ¿no? No me quiero adelantar y este año me gustaría pelear, aparte de esta, otras 2 peleas, otras 2 a ser posible, mantenerme activo, ir subiendo los rankings y cada vez acercándome más a ese sueño.
Well, I like to stay active this year. I want to go fight by fight, and I want to stay active, at least 2 or 3 fights this year, and that will get me closer to that goal of fighting for the belt sometime soon.
Gracias.
Gracias.
Awesome. Thank you. Last fight in the controversy. I know you said you didn't intend to cheat, but what do you think now, a couple months later, about everything that happened in that last fight?
Eu sei que já faz alguns meses da sua última luta, teve toda a controvérsia, eu sei que você já falou sobre isso, mas o que você pensa exatamente sobre aquilo que aconteceu?
Bom, de fato, erros acontecem, né? Eu digo instinto, sobrevivência. Não tinha intenção, mas foi um erro. E no mesmo momento em que eu desci do octógono, eu já pedi desculpa à adversária. E é um erro que eu cometi e não vai mais se repetir.
Mistakes happens, and was automatic. I didn't mean to do that, but as soon as I left the cage, I told her, I'm sorry, I apologized to her, and I'm sure it's not going to happen again.
After that, I saw a lot of people basically calling for your job, saying the UFC should release you. I mean, did it upset you to see people saying that?
Teve gente que pediu para você ser demitido, enfim, teve gente que falou muito sobre isso. Te surpreendeu, te incomodou isso?
Sim, o que mais me incomodou foi até lutadores também do UFC. Não foi incômodo, a gente se chateia, né? A gente se sente chateado. Mas por eles também saber a nossa guerra diária, a nossa batalha diária, o quão árduo é a gente chegar no octógono, na perca de peso, enfim. Isso me chateou, sim. Mas eu uso todo o negativo para me trazer inspiração e voltar cada vez melhor.
Yeah, I can say that I didn't, but especially from other UFC fighters, you know, because they know how hard it is to be here, all the hard work we gotta put in, all the cut weight and the fight week, and yeah, I didn't like. But
Elas querem logo me levar para o chão, mas eu estou bem preparada para todas as ocasiões e eu espero sim um grande espetáculo, um grande show e sair vitoriosa com um grande nocaute.
Yes, I'm ready to.
Já tinham me oferecido essa luta e ele, como estava muito em cima da outra, né? E ele falou, acho melhor não. Eu falei assim, quando eu vi a adversária e vi o estilo de luta dela, que ultimamente ela vem fazendo, sendo que na programação dela diz que ela é do jiu-jitsu, mas eu só venho vendo as últimas lutas dela, ela indo para a trocação, né? E quando eu vi o estilo de luta dela, eu falei assim, é perfeito para o meu jogo, é a adversária assim que eu busco, que gosta da trocação, que gosta de dar show no octógono. E de imediato eu já falei, Valide, pode casar essa luta que eu estou indo lá para reverter esse quadro negativo a positivo.
Yeah, my manager told me about this fight, and he was like, "Oh, maybe it's too soon." But then I checked my opponent, and I see that even though her background looks like it's jiu-jitsu, I saw her last fight, and she's doing a lot of striking, and she likes to put a show like me. So I told him, Valide, let's do it. I want to do this fight, and I want to put another show for the fans. I'm sure she's going to do the same, so let's do it.
And the goal for you here, I guess, is it just obviously pick up a win, or do you feel like you need to do something to maybe make people forget about everything that happened in the last fight?
O seu objetivo para essa luta, óbvio que você precisa da vitória, mas o seu objetivo é apenas vencer, ou você acha que talvez você precise fazer algo para meio que fazer as pessoas esquecerem dessa controvérsia toda que teve agora?
Meu maior objetivo é vencer sempre, mas eu também aceitei essa luta com a ideia de quebrar esse lado negativo que aconteceu do último combate e tornar positivo. E eu tenho certeza que isso vai ser feito e a Pedro está voltando para conseguir dessa vez mostrar a sua evolução dentro do octógono e dentro dessa nova equipe que eu só venho a crescer em questão de evolução.
Yeah, of course, my main goal is of course, getting the victory, of course. But yes, I want to show people convince them to forget all this negative that just happened, and bring more positive vibes for me, and got another victory. And yes, I'm sure I can do that and show everybody that I improved as a fighter and how good skills that I got from my new team.
And I guess last thing for me, you kind of touched on paper, this looks like it is going to be a stand-up battle. Is that the type of fight that you're expecting?
Você realmente está esperando uma trocação em pé bastante na luta, é isso?
Sim, Sim, o tempo inteiro sim. Estou esperando sim a trocação, mas preparada para o que ela vier. E digo que dessa vez não estou preparada para o que ela vier. Eu estou preparada para dar a ela, entende? E dessa vez quem vai atacar sou eu, o tempo inteiro.
Yes. Yes. That's what I'm looking for, but I'm ready for everything she brings. But actually, I'm not ready for her. I'm ready to put my strategy. So I'm gonna take the actions inside the octagon. Pedrita, vou fazer em português agora, tá?
Tudo bem.
As minhas perguntas. Bom, você já falou da polêmica. Última pergunta só para finalizar esse assunto.
Sim.
Não só os lutadores, como você mencionou, mas teve um episódio em específico do Joe Rogan, né, que é um podcast, acho, se eu não me engano, é o podcast mais famoso do mundo.
Sim.
Ele mencionou isso, ele te criticou. O peso que ele tem, e ele está muito dentro do cenário das lutas, isso te incomodou mais ainda?
Sim, muito. Muito. Eu já venho num quadro desde a Valentina, né, daquele episódio, eu entrei muito rápido no UFC, as coisas para mim foram muito rápido. Eu conheci a luta, eu tinha 25 anos. Com 27 anos eu já estava no UFC. Eu aprendi um jab com 25 anos e com 27 eu estava no UFC. Então foi tudo muito rápido na minha carreira, na minha vida. Quando eu vi, eu já estava em frente a um holofote e passando na Globo e famosa e estreiei contra a Valentina e foi aquele massacre. E quando eu era estrela e quando eu tomei aquele massacre, né, eu abri as redes sociais e aquela Pedrita que foi um leão no Brasil, aquela Pedrita que foi avassaladora, com 5 nocautes avassalador no Brasil, aquele leão virou um gatinho. Eu não soube lidar naquele momento com essa pressão psicológica que o público nos traz. E eu me enjaulei, fui para o cantinho e busquei ajuda, voltei a lutar novamente contra Molly McCann, na Inglaterra, e eu não conseguia soltar aquela Pedrita, até nos treinos. Eu ia treinar, eu era leão de sparring, e quando eu ia para o treino, eu tinha medo. Meu Deus, eu vou me machucar. Meu joelho também foi uma coisa que contou muito, pesou muito também. Falei, meu Deus, eu vou me machucar. Eu passei a ter medo, coisa que eu não tinha. E eu falei, a Pedrita voltou. Daí os treinos eu voltei a ser avassaladora, fome de sparring, querendo fazer sparring todo dia, e eu consegui me libertar. Então, esse quadro, voltando a dizer, esse quadro de um cara bem influente, que é o Yeon no UFC, isso mexeu, sim, demais comigo, porque me fez lembrar tudo lá daquela época que eu passei. E eu falei, cara, por quê? Eu perguntei, mas, meu Deus, por quê? Sabe? Para quê? Nunca pergunto por quê, mas sim para quê. Não tive intenção, não foi intencional, foi instinto, foi um erro, sim. Como diz os nossos superiores aí, merdas acontecem, mas a gente está disposto a consertar, né? E fiquei muito chateada, sim, mas eu não deixo a peteca cair, eu fui forjada no aço e eu vou voltar e eu vou mostrar novamente a Pedrita guerreira, que passa por aos trancos e barrancos, como sempre foi a minha vida, mas eu vou vencer. Pode ter certeza disso, eu vou vencer.
Show. Olhando para frente agora, então, 2 perguntas em uma. Eu vi nas suas redes que você parece estar tranquila com o corte de peso. Já,
sim, sim.
Então, em cima disso, eu te pergunto, o que aconteceu na última luta? Se você puder rapidamente explicar.
Sim, e no dia de uma semana antes de viajar, eu peguei essa influenza, gripe. E fiquei 3 dias, eu já estava no 62, com peso bom para viajar. Eu já estava com 62, eu peguei influenza, uma gripe forte. Fiquei acamada 3 dias, tomando antibiótico fortíssimo, com febrão de 40. Eu tive que me alimentar bem, porque eu estava tomando antibiótico. E acamada sem treinar. E o meu peso subiu novamente para 66. E todo mundo, pô, você não está bem, não luta, não luta. Só que guerreiro não foge da luta. E eu queria lutar, e eu amo lutar. E eu sempre falo, eu quero lutar, eu quero lutar, eu quero lutar. E eu decidi, eu falei, eu vou lutar. Muita gente falou, pô, você não está bem, você não está bem. Eu falei, eu estou bem sim, minha cabeça é incrível. E eu falei, eu vou lutar. E eu vim lutar. Mesmo doente, tomando antibiótico, entrando no avião para vir para a Fight Week, eu tinha acabado de tomar meu último antibiótico e falei, eu vou para a guerra. Só que existiu contratempos, teve falhas também entre equipe, nutricionista, enfim, é errando que se aprende, né? Aprendi, tanto que estou aqui de volta, consertando os erros e as falhas, disposta, não tem gripe dessa vez, e vamos com tudo rumo à vitória.
Para finalizar, então, Pedrita, você faz parte do time do Davidson, né? Lá, do time do Davidson, e o Davidson fez camp no Arizona, nos Estados Unidos. Você pretende seguir esse exemplo, treinar no Arizona ou talvez em algum outro lugar nos Estados Unidos, fazer alguns camps fora?
Sim. Eu tenho planos de vir para os Estados Unidos. É uma baita estrutura aqui do PI, Las Vegas. O UFC nos traz essa estrutura. E eu tenho, sim, planos de vir para Las Vegas. E se as condições financeiras, né, me ajudarem e colaborar, com certeza eu venho para Las Vegas para treinar. E é isso. É sobre isso. Good? Muito obrigada. Thank you.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Islam, another main event for you. I'm curious, do you like the main event where you get the extra attention and the extra responsibilities, or do you kind of like not having to do the extra interviews?
Honestly, I just finished 5 interviews, and last one I finished in my car. But it's okay, part of the game, but too much sometimes.
Are you getting used to it though? I mean, like no nerves, or is it just like you said, part of the job?
Yeah, this is part of the game, I know. That's why I feel good. I fight cage weight, that's why that time not so problem. This time.
Of course, a change in opponent here is the big story. How much discussion was there from your team about should we take this fight or should we delay it and wait for something else?
Honestly, when Benil is injured, I told Ali find someone from top 10, and he told me next day like nobody give me answer, and I think it's not gonna be happen. But when and Ali say just Bobby Green give answer, he say he ready for. I say let's go. Doesn't matter who, because last 3 months so hard for me. I prepare for Benil, training so hard. Just give me someone.
How much change goes into your game plan or your tactics? Does it change at all based on the opponent?
No, I have always same plan. Take down, make them tyrant, and finish him there. Same plan I have with Bobby too.
Bobby Green as a fighter, what do you think of his skills? What do you think of him as an opponent?
This guy, he have big heart because he took this fight before 1 week, and he have good boxing style. And about wrestling and grappling, we will check.
Are you expecting him to talk trash to you, or to try to make it emotional in the cage?
We're gonna talk inside the cage. I'm gonna take him down and tell them, hey, let's go, get up.
So you'll be the one talking.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk. He gonna talk with me when we beginning striking, but when I'm gonna take him down, I'm gonna ask him a couple questions.
Nice. A win here. Are you expecting a title shot? Do you feel that this will be enough to get you a title shot?
Of course, because it's gonna be my 10th fight win streak. I really believe this is key for title fight, and I think is Oliveira gonna beat Justin Gaethje and 11 win streak versus 10 win streak. This is gonna be big fight for all MMA fans.
Do you think that Charles Oliveira is the most difficult matchup for you, the most dangerous opponent for your style?
It's gonna be good fight because we almost have same style. He have good grappling skills, he have good striking, and it's gonna be a good fight. I don't think it's gonna be hard for me. I can take him down easy because I know he don't have good wrestling skills, but his grappling skills high level, and we will see who is better there.
Nice. Last thing for me, I guess. Do you feel like in this fight you have to make a statement, whether it be a finish or just something impressive to show the world that, yes, you deserve that title?
I have to finish Bobby Green first round, and I will do it.
I'm curious, do you know if other fighters were offered to step in to face you this weekend?
No time.
Do you know if there were other fighters who were offered to fight you this weekend? Or was it just Bobby?
They asked RDA, Tony, and Gillespie. They all say no. Ali told me this, but I don't want to say they're scared or something like that because this is just 1 week before the fight. But I have always same problem for find someone.
When someone like Bobby does step in this close to the fight, do you automatically have a new level of respect for them?
Yeah, I have to respect him because he's make this happen and he wanna make some money. I just wanna help him a little bit.
It's very generous of you. You said you picked Oliveira to beat Gaethje. I'm curious, what exactly do you see that makes him win that fight?
Can you repeat?
Why do you think Charles Oliveira beats Justin Gaethje?
I think he's gonna finish him. I think he's gonna striking with him like first round, and after he gonna take him down, I think he's gonna choke him.
Thank you.
Just one, most people see your fight style as being very dominant. The fact that you don't have to cut that extra 5 pounds, are we going to see an even more dominant version of you out there?
I don't know. I follow same program, same diet program, but last days I cut like 5 pound, 4 pound. I think that just last days is gonna be easy for me. We'll see. I never fight in cage weight, but I think I enjoy, because I don't have to make 156. But next fight, I'm ready to make 155,
So since this is a little different and this is a catch weight, is this week feel a little bit more exciting because it's a little bit different? You have a
this
short
is
notice?
like when you cut 156, like, more pressure, you cannot enjoy. But now I feel much better.
Awesome. Best of luck.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
going on? I guess just first, I mean, how important was the last victory for you to get that positive result?
Quão importante foi a última vitória para ter resultado positivo?
Foi muito importante para mim, né? Eu estava vindo de 2 vitórias consecutivas, não é bom, e foi muito importante para mim manter no UFC, né? Agora vamos voltar e manter o caminho das vitórias, né?
He's very important for him. He come from 2 losses in a row, and that's not good. And now he won, and let's keep the victory. Let's keep the path of the victory.
I like it. You were, of course, preparing for a fight in January. That didn't happen. So I guess how difficult was it to lose that fight and have to change your schedule?
Você está preparando para uma luta em janeiro e essa luta não aconteceu. Como foi? Foi difícil para você fazer essa perder, né? Não ter lutado e voltar agora rápido assim?
É um pouco difícil, né? Eu estava muito animado para a luta, mas acabou acontecendo. Melhoras para o Rodolfo e a gente treina com o Glover. O Glover me guiou ali no caminho ali, mandou descansar um pouco, recuperar do camp que a gente tinha feito, né, um camp longo, e a experiência dele ajuda a gente demais, então com certeza estou muito bem preparado para essa luta também.
Yeah, it's difficult because I was very excited to fight Rodolfo, but the things happen, I just hope he gets better, and but come back, Glover help me out with the camp, so we don't overdo it, we don't overtrain, rest a little bit and get right back in the training, get right back in camp, and my experience that done this before, have fight delayed, and it helped him a lot to prepare for this second camp, in a row.
So they give you the matchup with Misha. I'm just curious what you thought about him as an opponent. Is this a fight that excites you in the same way that you would have been excited to fight Rodolfo?
Vocês te deram o Misha, oponente diferente, mas essa luta te anima você, como você estava animado para lutar com o Rodolfo?
Com certeza, eu acho que é uma luta melhor ainda, né? Ele é um cara muito duro, já foi um cara ranqueado, então é uma luta que vai jogar meu nome mais para cima ainda. É uma luta muito dura também e eu estou muito preparado, estou bem animado com essa luta.
For sure, man. He's definitely a better, a bigger name than Rodolfo in UFC. He's been around the longer, and he was ranked in a light heavyweight, and just excited. It's going to be a better fight. It's going to be a better fight for me.
Nice. What do you make of him as a middleweight? I mean, do you think he's made the right choice there? Is he any different than he was at light heavyweight? What do you see in the difference?
Como você já viu alguma diferença dele, que ele mudou para meio, para o peso médio? Você acha que isso foi uma ideia boa dele? Como você acha que ele está se dando melhor no médio, que ele virou um melhor lutador?
Eu assisti a última luta dele no peso médio e eu acho que ele deu uma caída na performance, perde muito peso, né? Acaba sofrendo muito, isso não é bom para o atleta. Mas eu espero que ele esteja na melhor forma da vida dele para essa luta de sábado, para a gente fazer uma grande luta lá.
Misha is a good fighter. I saw his last fight. He didn't fight so well. Maybe it was the weight cut. He cut too much weight, and that's not good for an athlete. But I hope that he put up a better fight and a good fight, and he be good. And I'm ready to beat him, at the 185.
And I guess, does this feel any different? Like you said, it was so important to get that win last time to get off the losing streak. Now that you do have the win, does it feel different coming into this fight?
Você se sente mais confortável vindo para a luta, porque a última luta você vinha de derrota, você realmente precisava dessa vitória, né? E agora que você vem de vitória, como você está indo mais tranquilo?
Com certeza, né? Uma sensação muito melhor. E eu também já estou mais tempo treinando ali na nossa equipe, na Teixeira MMA, então eu estou me sentindo muito confiante, muito bem preparado e pronto para pegar essa vitória aí no sábado.
Yeah, for sure, man. He's excited about it. He's like for sure he's a better pet. He's coming from a victory, more comfortable, and he's more comfortable training in the team that he moved in July last year, and he's been longer in the team, been learning a lot, and he's excited. For it.
I guess last thing for me, did your translator have any good advice for you this week?
O seu tradutor te deu umas boas instruções essa semana?
Com certeza, né? O tradutor campeão aqui está me ajudando muito. Ele já lutou com o Misha uma vez, né? Já fez isso uma vez, então nada melhor não tem pessoa melhor que ele para me ajudar nessa luta de sábado, né?
Yeah, very good, man. He's the champion, translator champion over here. He's doing, for sure, I already fought Misha and know the path, and nothing better than hear from him.
Hi. I'm going to try to ask in Portuguese, so if you can help, I wrote it down. Por que você falta legal com seu rival quando ele deixou a luta? A maioria dos lutadores usam trash talk depois disso.
Não, entendi.
Você entendeu, né? Porque você
o Rodolfo é um cara muito gente boa, né? Um cara muito legal. Ele é até amigo da galera lá da academia, do Glover, já treinaram juntos. Então, e ele teve um problema, né? Não foi nada de errado que aconteceu, foi a comissão que não deixou ele lutar. Então, que ele fique melhor aí. E ele é um cara de gente boa, não tem por que fazer isso.
Rodolfo is a very nice guy. You know, he's like. There's no way I'm gonna trash talk. Wasn't his fault. It was the commission that didn't let him fight, and and he's a friend with the whole team, our team. So, there's no way he's gonna talk shit about Rodolfo.
Bom português, bom português.
Wellington, tudo bom?
Tudo bom.
Fazer em português aqui. Wellington, primeiro eu queria saber, desde que você chegou no UFC, né? Você é um cara muito jovem, talentoso, mas você alternando resultados, vitória, derrota. Como fazer para lidar com essa estabilidade para colecionar, embalar uma sequência de vitórias? Né?
Cara, tem coisas que acontecem na vida da gente que a gente tem que procurar novos rumos, né? E eu estava vindo de sequências ruins, duas derrotas seguidas, né? Isso não é bom. Então, eu decidi mudar, né, cara? Foi uma decisão difícil, vim para os Estados Unidos, ficar longe da minha família, do meu cachorrinho, né, cara? Difícil demais. Mas, com certeza, foi uma das melhores decisões que eu tomei. E agora a gente vai buscar embalar as vitórias, né? Tô treinando muito bem, tô me sentindo muito bem na minha equipe agora. Considero eles uma família e, com certeza, agora os resultados vão vir.
Você já mencionou, né? O Glover já venceu o seu próximo rival. Qual a importância de treinar com ele, campeão, com o Alex Poatan, que é grande promessa no UFC, mas especificamente do Glover, você pode dar algum detalhe do que ele te passou para esse campo em específico?
Com certeza, cara. Nada melhor que o cara que já lutou com o meu adversário, né, para me dar umas dicas. Ele com certeza ali me falou como que é o cara lá dentro, ele já sentiu isso, né? Então é muito bom. As dicas que ele deu eu não vou poder passar, né? Vocês vão ver só no sabadão.
Não fala o segredo, não fala o segredo. Don't tell the secret.
Bom, o seu rival, o Cirkunov, ele vem de 2 derrotas. Isso, obviamente, causa uma pressão. Você acha que isso tem algum... Nesse cenário que ele passa agora, tem algo que você pode tirar de positivo para você? Fazer com essa pressão atrapalhe ele e te favoreça no sábado?
Eu acho que ele é um cara experiente, né, cara? Já lutou muito. Eu acho que... E também pessoas, assim, vindo de 2 derrotas, são pessoas perigosas, né? O cara quer muito vencer, então... Eu me preparei muito para ele, cara. Estou muito bem preparado. E eu vou fazer minha melhor luta no sábado e espero que ele faça isso também.
Show de bola. Para finalizar, então, você pode mandar um recado para os fãs brasileiros. O que eles podem esperar de você, não apenas para esse sábado, mas para a temporada?
Fala, galera do Brasil. Podem esperar meu melhor, com certeza. Eu estou sempre treinando muito, sempre querendo evoluir. E vocês, com certeza, aí vão ver sempre o Wellington Turman melhor cada vez que eu pisar naquele octógono.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Glover. Thank you, champ. Appreciate that.
Greg, you got a 2-0 in the UFC right now, a nice win streak going. I guess, I mean, how does it feel at this point in your career to be where you are?
Yeah, first of all, it's very good to be back here. And yeah, man, like, I'm so happy with everything that's going on in my life. Last year was a perfect year for me, right? Like 4 fights, 4 wins, 2 in the UFC, 1 bonus off the night. It was great. So I will make this this year too. That's my plan. Just, you know, make maybe 4 fights this year, and let's gonna see. But I'm so happy and just, you know, like excited to start my year.
I guess is it safe to say that was like the best year of your career by far?
Yeah, definitely was the best year. Always I said that, like, before was 1 fight, 2 fights in a year, and then like 4 fights, 4 wins, 1 belt, 2 in the UFC. So I look at back and say, man, thank God, you know, like, was perfect. And yeah, but I know I just getting started, and that's just the beginning.
Yeah. Is there anything that you can point to that's like for that success, or is it just kind of the result of everything you had done up to that point?
Man, like last year I did, in 2020 I did a hard decision. I was living in California and then moved to Florida. And then, but I didn't move because the gym or stuff like that. I moved because my friend started building the church in there. And then that's changed my life. God changed my life ever. And then 4 months after that, when I was in Florida, I was in the UFC. And then I said, man, God put me here for a purpose. And then that's why I'm so successful. I believe in that. And yeah, man, like, God's great in my life.
That's awesome, man. Well, talk about this matchup with Armen. I mean, were you familiar with him at all? I know he's new to the UFC, so had you seen him compete? Did you know his name when they offered it to you?
Yeah, I saw him in the contenders. The funny thing, I saw his fight. I think I was in the fight week when he fought, and I saw, oh, this guy's good. And then now we are here, so I'm happy for this fight, and I'm excited. It's gonna be a great match.
Looks like it'll be fireworks on paper. Do you think you have any advantage over him just based on the fact that you do have some experience and he doesn't? I mean, do you remember your debut? Like, was there maybe some nerves or something that you weren't expecting?
Man, like, fight's a fight, right? Every fight's completely different. The feeling's different. But yeah, of course, I'm gonna put all my experience. So now in the UFC, and I'm going to my 14 or 15. I don't remember as well. But yeah, it's like, I think I have more experience than him, definitely inside the cage, and of course my jiu-jitsu background and all this. But my striking get better and better. So I'm confident in when the fight's going. I'm ready for everything.
I was going to ask, is this a fight that you think, like, hey, maybe I can show my striking a little bit against this guy, or is this a fight where you go, you know, I'm probably way better in jiu-jitsu than he is, so let's go do that?
Man, I like it to do something new, you know. I like it, and I like it the challenge. And he's like a Muay Thai world champion, and I like it to put my strike in action. It's gonna see, and anyway, man, I have everything to fight. So, and like I said, MMA is completely different than all the sports. You know, jiu-jitsu before, this guy fight jiu-jitsu, this guy fight Muay Thai. But now, you need to fight MMA. You need to be good in all the areas, and that's my point. I make my focus on that. You know, how to strike and go to the ground, do the transitions, and that's it.
Last thing for me, you win here. I mean, you'd still be unbeaten in the UFC. You know, some momentum. What do you want next? You said maybe 4 fights this year. Are you starting to look at names or matchups? What would you do next?
No, man. I wanna do probably 4 fights, but I think the UFC do a great job to you know, make schedule the fights, and I'm ready. I just waiting what they're gonna offer me. Of course, I'm gonna talk with my manager, and that's it. I'm happy what the UFC does.
Tudo bom, Robocop? Fazer em português aqui, tá? Show.
Já gastei o inglês todo aqui já.
Primeira pergunta que eu queria te fazer é, na nossa última conversa, aqui no Apex, Eu entendi que você queria um tempo maior de descanso entre uma luta e outra. 4 meses é o ideal? Era isso que você já planejava?
Ah, não, cara, é igual eu falei, ao longo da minha carreira, fazer uma luta, duas, eu acredito que me atrapalhou muito no meu desenvolvimento, né? Porque você não mantém um ritmo, né, de competição. E como eu vindo do jiu-jitsu, a gente sempre competia muito, né? E uma das coisas que o meu treinador sempre me falava: Grego, você precisa competir para treinar, e não treinar para competir. Então, eu acredito que 3 meses, 2, 3 meses ali de espera, né, para fazer uma luta é excelente. E eu pensando em fazer 4 desse ano, talvez pegar um short notice, né, ficar pronto, né, não me machucar nas lutas e espero que eu consiga fazer esse feito igual no ano passado.
Show. Você, 4 vitórias seguidas, 2 no UFC, 3 nocautes nesse período. A fase é muito boa. Ao mesmo tempo, você, de alguma forma, você se precaver do tipo, não posso ficar muito super confiante e acabar perdendo foco de alguma forma. Você trabalha nesse lado também?
Uma das coisas que eu aprendi ao longo da minha carreira, né, especialmente, né, na minha última derrota, é sempre colocar o pé no chão, né? Sempre você saber até onde você pode ir, né? E como eu falei para ele, toda luta é uma luta. E cada luta que eu faço, para mim, é a luta mais importante da minha carreira, da minha vida, independente de tudo que já passou. Foi um excelente ano, foram excelentes resultados, mas eu acredito que é sempre algo novo, né? Eu acho que para mim ter algo novo, eu preciso abrir mão do velho mesmo, né? E eu penso assim, não só na minha carreira, mas em tudo na minha vida, eu sempre mantenho, né, esse pensamento de, cara, eu preciso, né, para me ter o que eu nunca tive, eu preciso fazer o que eu nunca fiz. Então, eu acredito que, né, quando eu coloco minha mente nesse lugar, eu deixo um pouquinho, cara, estou muito confiante, não, eu preciso botar meu pé no chão, focar no meu treinamento, né, ver o que eu errei, né, e melhorar. Óbvio que sempre, né, foi 4 vitórias, mas sempre tem coisas para melhorar, né?
Bom, seu adversário, o Petrosyan, é um cara duro pra caramba, né? Como é que você vê essa luta acontecendo? Onde você acha que você pode vencer? E segundo, já em cima desse mesmo assunto, ele é um estreante no UFC. Isso, de alguma forma, tem algo ali, você que já passou por essa sensação, tem algo ali que você pode aproveitar ao seu favor?
Cara, eu gosto de falar que lutar com um cara duro é bom que eles quebram, né? O duro quebra. Mas eu respeito todos os meus adversários. Petrosyan, né, fez o caminho dele até o UFC, fez uma grande luta lá no The Container, um grande nocaute em cima de um cara duríssimo, né, que estava invicto também. Ele não estava invicto, né, mas o cara com 10-0. E eu falei para ele, eu quero me divertir, meu irmão. Estou aqui eu faço o que eu amo. Há 1 ano e pouco atrás eu estava pensando em parar e hoje eu estou no UFC, então eu quero aproveitar esse momento, né? Eu acredito que vai ser uma grande luta. Foi uma luta bem casada. Como você falou, um cara duríssimo, né? Mas eu também me conheço, também sei quem eu sou e eu sei o que eu posso fazer. Então eu acredito que pode esperar uma grande luta. Valeu, galera.
Let's get it going.
But you said it another day at the Islands. I feel like we just saw you 2 weeks ago, man. What's this experience like for you, this stepping in this big fight on short notice?
It's been fucking nuts. I think I did like 25 interviews, you know? And this lady said, stop being good at them. You know, people keep asking for me to talk. I guess I should just give you guys bad interviews and then you won't want to talk to me.
I don't think that's possible, man. I don't think that's possible. Are you enjoying this so? I mean, like you said, I know it's a lot of interviews, but man, you know, I think back to Houston, like the love the crowd was giving. I feel like there's never been more support for you than there is right now. I mean, are you feeling this and enjoying this ride right now?
You know me, I'm gonna be honest with you, brother. It's kind of like Tupac said, like, I've been around at these shows and I'll be next to somebody and be like, oh, that's whoop de whoop and that's whoop de whoop, and I'm telling my coach, oh yeah, that's the whoop de whoop, and they'll see me, and all of a sudden now they're like, hey, can we get a picture? Hey, good shit, you know? I'm like, you know, I've been doing this since the beginning, like we really like what you're saying. I'm like, you know, I've been saying this from the beginning. This has always just been my same intentions, is to inspire, motivate, you know, get people on their feet. I'm just doing the same things I always did. You guys just found out. So it's a little bit interesting. Like, it's confusing. Like, I don't know. I don't know how to deal with this shit.
Well, talk about how this all came together, man. I mean, obviously, you know, he said he wanted a top 10 opponent. Nobody in the top 10 was stepping up. So how did you put your hand in the air? Did they call you? How did this all come together?
My manager called me. He's like, hey, Islam needs a fight. And once he said that, I was already like 195 pounds. And I'm like, you want me to get to 55 in 10 days? This is nuts. I'm like, oh, man, and I just got in a fight. Like, I still got some of the scars and stuff from the last one, you know? I was supposed to get my girl surgery. She's supposed to get surgery the next day. So we were kind of prepping that night for her to have surgery the next day. And the call comes in, and I'm going, I know a lot of people got the call before me. I'm like, where are those guys at, you know? Why they didn't step up, you know? Because, to be honest, I just got off. Y'all just let me get out of the cage, and you're going to throw me back in again? I guess you guys have been little bitches, you know? Well, fuck it. I'll do it. Let me show you how I do this shit, you know? Snatch that shit, and I'll go in, you know? Give me paid, and I'll do it.
That's amazing. So, you know, everybody's got him kind of proclaimed as being the next champion or a title contender. I mean, when you look at him, is he that good? I mean, is this championship material that you see?
Islam, is he championship material? I know that he's been really downplaying me, and I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. He's a good opponent. I think he's definitely, if he's been on this win streak, you know, he is championship material according to wins, you know, if we're gonna talk about just wins. But I feel like when it comes to this MMA stuff, it's what product you're selling. I always tell all my young fighters that what kind of product you selling, because we all selling something, you know, and the public's gonna buy the best thing that they can find. With Islam, he does what he does, but to be honest, it's kind of boring, you know. Even if he getting finishes, it's still been boring. And so my whole thing is entertainment, excitement, you know. So he can be championship material, but it's just fucking boring. Nobody wants to see it. Nobody cares. I fall asleep watching his fights. And then it's like, oh, there's the finish. And like, so they can show a bunch of finishes, which is cool. But it was sleeping, and it was boring. It's lackluster. Some of these guys, it's just a match, you know? It's just about the win. Everybody just wants to win. And that's cool for those guys. That's never been my intentions. I never really cared about winning. I cared about entertaining. I cared about my style. I cared about what type of shit I'm putting out, you know? And if somebody wants to see it. Because a lot of these things nobody wants to see. They will never be watched again. They will never be played again.
That's why I kind of wondered if you hesitated at all or thought of, because when you think about your style, we think about entertainment, right? And we think about his style, we think about dominant grappling. So was there any part of you that was like, I don't know how I'm going to be entertaining out there. This is going to be, you know, I'm going to have to grind in the clinch and show a lot of, you know, defensive wrestling tactics.
You nailed it on the head, brother. I got a long test ahead of me. with these boring guys. And I'm like, I told Jason that too. I'm like, Jason, this guy's fucking boring. Like, what am I gonna do with this guy? So that's the real test. It's making somebody boring exciting. How can I do that? Can I do that? Can I pull that one out of my ass? Let me see what I can do. I think I can do it, you know?
You know, he was here earlier. We asked him, you know, if he was expecting you to be talking to him a little bit, and he's like, I'm actually going to be talking to him. He said, maybe Bobby will talk to me on the feet, but when we're on the ground, I'm going to be the one talking, saying, get up, let's go, where are you at? So do you welcome that? Does somebody kind of give it back to you a little bit, or does that kind of get under your skin if they do that? What are you expecting?
Nah, I think that's kind of dope, you know? I think it's dope. Yeah, say what you got to say, brother. You know, and nobody holding you back from your words. Say what you say. You are kind of stealing from your big brother Khabib. That was his shit, you know. So you're jocking his swag. If he wants to talk, let's talk, you know. But it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. That's all I want to do is make sure that it's fun.
Dig it. Last thing for me. Here's the crazy thing, man. You win this fight. I know you just told us recently. You're like, championships don't really matter. You know what I mean? I'm about fighting and getting paid and having fun and being entertained. But you win this fight. All of a sudden, people start saying, does he need to be in this title conversation? I mean, he just beat the number one contender. So do you think about that at all? Even though you say titles may not be important, that if I win this, maybe I do start saying, yeah, you know what? Maybe a belt would be nice.
It's the same thing to this day. You know, ain't nothing changed. My intentions, my goals, my pursuit, I never cared about the title, and if it didn't come or came, it wouldn't matter. I wouldn't be thinking about it. If they want to honor me with that, cool. My thing is, keep the money coming and keep my activity going.
When we were in Houston, you said a lot of what makes you you is the fact that you're the only one who puts your hand up, right? When they call you, put your hand up. Is this fight the perfect example of that?
Exactly. Because they had to give it to 10 other guys. Nobody wanted to put their hand up because everybody was scared. Everybody wants to wait for the perfect opportunity. And that's all I've been doing was, hey, pick me. And here it is. They picked me again. I wish it would have been with more time and more preparation. I'm getting thrown into this, and I'm getting thrown to the wolves, and they want me to see what I got. But it's really dope is that I get to surprise people. You know, I feel like he doesn't respect me. He doesn't understand me either. I don't know if he's been watching, but I know DC is one of his guys, and DC's going to let him know, hey, do this and do this, you know. DC's been paying attention to me. We'll see.
When you talk about this fight, you know, obviously everyone, Islam's going to be so dominant, like he's the new next champ. Does that motivate you? Or like you said, is it, I don't care about him, I just want to put on my show like I always have done?
Bingo. I never really cared about the opponent. As long as they can be a good dance partner, that's really it to me. Was just, hey, if you're gonna bring something exciting to me too, you know, I only care about myself and what I'm doing. I can only control my end of the deal. Your end of the deal, you gotta do your job. I did mine. Like I said the same thing with Nazareth. I felt like he wasn't bringing enough out for us to seal the deal with the fight of the night. I should have got it, you know, but I didn't feel like he brought enough so we can get it.
Thanks, man.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
It is live, actually. I guess what is the giggles about right now? What's the feeling that you're having at this moment?
준희 씨 지금 느끼는 소감 한마디.
부끄러워요. 너무 많은 분들이 이렇게 있어서 좀 쑥스럽고 네 그렇습니다.
She's feeling pretty shy right now since there's a lot of media members in here, and she thanks you guys for coming in.
Awesome. Well, you're doing fine so far. I guess, can you talk about maybe the last couple of years, what it's been like for you? You know, you've had a couple losses and a whole bunch of fights rescheduled. Has it been a difficult or frustrating time for you?
준희 씨 이제 UFC 계시는 동안 시합이 많이 취소가 되고 이제 뭐 승과 패를 오락가락 하시고 이제 시합도 많이 취소되고 이런 많이 겪으셨는데 이제 어떠셨는지 그거에 대해서.
우선은 뭐 지금 제 전적이 막 그렇게 좋은 편은 아니지만 그래도 항상 생각하는 거는 후회 없이 싸우자, 내가 만족하고 그리고 보는 팬들이 만족할 수 있는 시합을 하자 이런 생각을 했기 때문에 조금 아쉬운 부분이 있는데 매 시합마다 후회 없는 시합을 하겠다는 마음가짐으로 경기를 임하고 있습니다.
Yeah. Regarding the losses, obviously she doesn't have the perfect record that she wishes that she has, but still she's trying her best to fight as much as possible with no regrets and give the fans the fight that they deserve.
And I guess, what has been the focus? I mean, has it, not getting to fight frequently, like, has it been difficult, or has it been easy to stay focused and improve, or what's it been like?
이제 시합이 많이 취소가 되면서 이제 지은 씨의 그 집중력은 어떻게 되셨는지 이제 그런 상황들 대해서 조금 더 언급을.
굉장히 사실 좀 혼란스러웠고 저번 마지막 시합도 그랬고 이번 시합에도 계속 좀 딜레이가 돼서 이제 캠프 기간이 너무 길어지다 보니까 사실 엄청 좀 지쳤고 그리고 뭐 가족들도 너무 보고 싶었고 그런 부분이 굉장히 힘들었는데 지금 코로나로 인해서 어쩔 수 없는 상황이기도 하고 또 좋은 팀을 만나서 좋은 코치님들과 주위에 좋은 분들이 좋은 얘기들도 많이 해줘서 그런 힘을 얻고 그리고 기간이 많이 생긴 만큼 부족한 부분을 많이 더 좀 단단하게 만들 수 있는 그런 계기로 생각해서 조금 더 긍정적이게 생각을 많이 했습니다.
I mean, yeah, it was frustrating at first, but she understands that the circumstances with COVID and the pullouts and all those things is understandable, but it is frustrating. She misses her family very much, but at the same time, a loss can be a gain at the same time. So within those lost times, she was able to just evolve in her games that she had to make adjustments to. So it worked out good and it worked out bad. So it's 50-50.
So I was going to ask, in January, we're supposed to fight in January, then that fight gets canceled. I just wonder what the emotion was like. Is like, here we go again, another fight, or was it like, okay, that's we'll just get another one scheduled. What was it like?
이제 원래 1월 달에 시합을 뛰셨어야 됐는데 이제 그게 취소가 됐잖아요. 또 이제 그래서 그때 소감은 어땠는지, 그냥 다시 뭐 운동을 열심히 하자 뭐 이런 거였는지.
일단은 그때 저도 상대 선수가 코로나로 인해서 경기가 취소됐는데 저도 그 전에 바로 코로나에 걸려서 좀 힘든 상황을 겪었고 바로 그걸 극복하기 위해서 굉장히 많은 훈련을 좀 진행했는데 경기가 성사되지 않아서 그리고 좀 더 큰 무대에서 큰 케이지에서 싸울 수 있었는데 그런 기회가 좀 없어져서 너무 힘들었고 거의 막바지 이제 시합이다 하고 파이트 그 전에 경기가 취소돼서 사실 너무 지치고 좀 힘들었는데 좀 아쉬움이 남고 또 새로운 상대를 만났지만 그래도 진짜 아까 말했듯이 좀 좋은 분들이 많이 좋은 얘기들도 많이 해줘서 힘을 얻고 다시 경기에 집중하게 되었습니다.
Oh yeah, it was a lot frustrating. It's back-to-back cancellation going in, and the fight was announced that it was off when she was about to enter fight week, so that was kind of like shitty, if that makes sense. And also, doing back-to-back camp, and I know not Priscilla. I know she knows that Botello also had COVID, but she also had COVID before Botello. So in order for her to regain her lungs, she went through a rougher camp and a tougher camp. But thanks to people around her, such as John Wood and Frank Hickman, she was able to get through this a lot better.
So it ends up with a matchup with Priscila Cachoeira. I'm just curious kind of what you think of her style as an opponent and what you think about the matchup.
프리실라에 대해서 어떻게 생각을 하시는지 그 매치업 대해서.
굉장히 좀 UFC에서는 진짜 재밌는 게임을 할 수 있게 그런 매치를 많이 요구하는구나 이런 생각이 좀 들었고요. 일단 상대도 굉장히 화끈한 타격가 선수이고 저도 이제 타격가기 때문에 또 좋은 경기가 나오지 않을까 이렇게 생각하고 있고요. 일단은 상대가 굉장히 힘이 좋고 화끈한 선수라고 생각을 해서 저도 이제 타격이 강점인 선수다 보니까 그런 부분을 잘 활용해서 좋은 그림이 나올 수 있도록 열심히 해보겠습니다.
The first initial thought she had regarding Priscilla when she was offered was, yeah, the UFC definitely wants a firework in this fight, you know? Priscilla is a striker just like Yeon herself, and she's obviously explosive and powerful. You can see that on her wins in the UFC. But also at the same time, you know, she thinks she's a superior striker than Priscilla, so she'll make it one hell of a fight for the fans.
Very nice. I know every fight is important, but because of the losses, because of all the canceled fights, does this feel like an important night, an important moment that you have to get a win?
진 씨가 이제 연패듭에 있으시고 이제 많은 취소가 있었잖아요, 시합에 대해서. 그래서 이번 승리는 꼭 이제 절실하신지.
연패고 이런 걸 떠나서 항상 저한테는 좀 승리가 굉장히 절실했고 이번에도 저번 시합에도 무조건 꼭 이기겠다고 했는데 좀 결과적으로는 좋지 않았지만 이번에 더 준비 기간이 많아지고 또 제 스타일에 더 적응을 잘한 만큼 더 좋은 모습 보여드리도록 하겠습니다.
Regardless of consecutive losses or not, win is always the biggest factor that she's aiming for, and even the decision with McMolly didn't go her way. She's still gunning for a win, and it's been a great time since she's been able to find her own style, if that makes sense, compared to her previous fights. So she said, let's see what happens this weekend.
Nice. Last thing for me, a win here. What would you like to do next? Is it take some time off and go see your family? Is it just try to make up for lost time with lots of fights? What's the plan?
이제 이번 시합 끝나고는 이제 무엇을 하고 싶으신지, 다음 계획이 무엇인지, 누구랑 싸우고 싶으신지.
일단은 Sorry. 일단은 저번 시합 뛰고 너무 좀 오랜 기간 시합을 안 뛰니까 감이 좀 사라진 느낌이 들어가지고 좀 바로 캠프를 하러 돌아왔는데 이번에도 경기를 하고 크게 다치지 않으면은 바로 좀 훈련할 수 있는 몸 상태를 계속 만들어서 바로바로 시합 뛸 수 있게 하는 걸 계획하고 있고요. 일단은 지금 계획으로는 일단 빨리 집에 가서 가족들 만나고 싶고 그리고 그 다음에는 조금 이제 휴식 시간을 갖고 이제 태국이나 그리고 다시 캠프는 이쪽에 와서 준비를 하려고 계획하고 있습니다.
The biggest thing she learned on her last fight was she can't have a layoff as long as she did on her previous two fights. So if there's no major injuries, she wants to get back to training as soon as possible. But obviously, she wants to see her family, first come, first serve. She wants to go check out the new gym in Thailand, Bang Tao Muay Thai, where the Hickman brothers are opening, and obviously come back to Vegas and do her camp with John Wood again, and fight as much as possible. 한마디 해요. 포르니 케이지 달라고.
네?
포르니 케이지 달라고 해.
아니야.
빨리 해. 안 할래. She wants to call someone out.
Thank you. No.
That's your chance, but you blew it.
Thank you.
Arman, fighting in Las Vegas again, I'm just curious if there were any kind of lessons or experiences you took out of the first one that you can use this time around.
Thank you very much. I'm very excited to be here.
Nice. Do you like fighting in Las Vegas, or is it difficult to have to compete here?
No, I like Las Vegas a lot because UFC PI, and it's easy to training here, and I like Las Vegas. But I want to fight with fans, you know. Without fans, it's boring for me.
So is that what you're hoping, a big win here? The next one you get on a pay-per-view and a big crowd?
Yeah.
Nice. What do you think about this matchup? I think a lot of people are very excited for this fight. What did you think when they offered it for you?
It's gonna be a good fight. We both strong guys, and he likes not just wrestling, and he's good striker. I'm good striker too, wrestler. It's gonna be a good match and good fight, but I'm gonna win for sure.
Were you surprised they made this fight? Because you two guys look like you're going to be around for a while. I thought maybe later in the career it would happen. Were you surprised they put it now?
No, I don't surprise, but I thought like UFC give me top 10 fighters, but it is what it is. But he's top 15, and if I beat him, for sure next one I get top 10, and next one gonna be good fighter for me.
Do you have any concern about his weight at all? Obviously, he's missed weight a couple times.
Yeah, if he has a problem now, he should say now, not tomorrow with weight, but I'm gonna do my weight for sure, and it's my job. We have to be professional in our job, yeah.
I think a lot of people are expecting this to be a really high-level grappling match, but it is mixed martial arts, and you can strike too, right? So do you think this turns into a grappling match, or do you think you guys end up striking with each other?
Yeah, I'm gonna do a lot of fake things, He's gonna think I'm gonna do wrestling or striking, but I'm gonna change my level and do everything, like to make him tight and choke him there.
Very nice. Do you think a win here will maybe get you the respect? I think hardcore fans know what you're capable of, but I don't think your name has gotten out there to do you think this performance will be the moment that you kind of become well known?
Yeah, for sure. He's a tough guy, and if I beat him, it's gonna be good for me. I get top 10, and yeah, it's good opportunity for me. That winning give me a lot of options in UFC.
And what's the plan this year in terms of number of fights, where you want to be at the end of the year? What's the goals this year?
This year, you mean?
Yeah.
I want to win this fight, and then I want to do 1, maximum 2 fights. 3 fights gonna be good for me, and I hope beginning next year I'll get title shot.
Very nice. Last thing for me, I guess, how do you see this fight? I mean, is this a fight that you can dominate, that you can go win quickly, or are you expecting to have a 15-minute kind of battle back and forth? What kind of fight do we see?
I'm gonna dominate him, and second round I'll choke him. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Okay, done.
Obviously, a big moment in your career right now. I guess what's the feel like ahead of the fight?
Он говорит, большой момент у тебя в карьере. Как ты чувствуешь сейчас?
Спасибо, чувствую себя хорошо. Надеюсь, что наш план на бой сработает, и у нас все получится.
He feels great. He feels like the training camp was okay, so everything's going to work out for him.
We hear nerves. I mean, does it feel any different this fight week than previous fight weeks?
Ты нервничаешь или нет?
Ну, я всегда немного волнуюсь перед боем. Я считаю, что это абсолютно нормально. А так, в целом, все замечательно.
He always is a little nervous, but that's a good thing for him. It works for him, actually. Positive way.
Very nice. Talk about the matchup itself. What do you think about the opponent's style and the matchup?
Что ты думаешь про его противника? Как это с тобой пойдет? Бой как будет?
Хороший, крепкий соперник. Не знаю, посмотрим. В последнее время он проводит бои в стойке, но он неплохой грэплер. Не знаю, возможно, будет лезть в борьбу со мной. Но мы к этому готовы.
He's saying that last few fights he tried to strike and exchange punches and kicks, but he's a good grappler and wrestler, so he thinks he's gonna try to take him down because of his striking, but he's ready for that.
He was here earlier and said that he actually might like to try to strike with you a little bit and see how it feels. Do you believe him, or do you think that's not going to happen?
Он говорит, он раньше перед тебя здесь был, он сказал, что будет с тобой в стойке стоять. Как ты думаешь это?
Это хорошо. Мне это радует.
He's very excited.
Very nice. Talk about the opportunity. I mean, in your debut to be main card, to be doing media in your first fight. I mean, does this feel like a big moment in your career?
Ты думаешь, как это тебя радует, тебе там нервничаешь за это, что-то первый раз, так медиа, туда-сюда, там камеры эти, все, как это тебе идет?
Нет, камеры меня абсолютно не смущают, мне наоборот нравится общение. Нет, я абсолютно чувствую себя комфортно.
No, he's not nervous about cameras, none of the stuff. He's actually feeling great.
Nice. You have a history of highlight finishes in your career. I mean, do you go out there in this fight thinking like you have to have a highlight reel finish, or is it just about picking up a victory however you can?
Он говорит, у тебя много таких хороших нокаутов, ты всех нокаутируешь, там они видели много видео. Это твой план всегда выходить и показывать такой хороший, или просто выиграть хочешь?
На самом деле никогда не думаю о нокауте, просто хочу показать всегда хороший зрелищный бой. Когда думаешь чаще всего о нокауте, часто он не получается. Слава богу, просто план на бой срабатывает, и мы побеждаем достаточно неплохо.
He's saying that he never thinks about knockout or anything like that. He's just trying to do a good, entertaining fight. And he's always well prepared, so the knockouts come.
Nice. Now that you're here in the UFC, I mean, how do you see the progress of your career? Is it something that you want to fast track to the top or develop a little bit slower over time? How do you want your career path to go?
Как ты хочешь там в рейтингах, там хочешь, чтобы сразу выиграли людей, там потихоньку, какой план у тебя?
Нет, я хочу достаточно быстро подняться в рейтингах, хочу драться с лучшими, хочу доказать, что мы готовы.
He doesn't want to waste time. He wants to move up in ratings, fight the best. He doesn't need much time to go slow start or whatever. He just wants to show himself.
Nice. So I guess what's the goal in this fight? I mean, is it just to pick up a win? I know you say you don't think about knockouts, but do you want to do something amazing that people notice you right away? What's the goal here?
Какой план у тебя на этот бой? Прямо на этот бой? Он говорит, ты хочешь тебе так сильно показать, что они тебе сразу хорошие бои дали или как?
Ну, я надеюсь, что после этого боя мне дадут хорошие бои.
He's hoping that after this fight he's going to get really top opponents.
Nice. I guess last thing for me, what type of fight do we see? I mean, is this something that goes back and forth before you get the finish, or is this something that you can get done quick? What type of fight do you think we see?
Он говорит, ты будешь там драться немножко, потом попробовать его нокаутировать. Какой план у тебя будет?
Я не планирую, я еще раз повторюсь, я не охочусь прям за нокаутом, но если я зацеплю, я не отпущу.
He doesn't plan anything. Whatever comes, but if he gets a good shot, then he's going to finish him.